Thank you, Brad. Welcome, everybody. I'm really happy to see the number of first-timers here. And as Brad said, everybody here wants to help everybody. So if you have any questions, you can't get it answered in the office, anybody out here is willing to help you. So don't be afraid to reach out. If they don't have an answer, they'll find it for you. So don't be afraid to just ask. So before I get started, I want to say special thanks to Micah Hansen for giving us a horse for this. For these demos, we like to use a horse that's not going to show in the class. So I'd like to thank Micah again and the owner, Julian Hornig, for loaning us this horse, Loping for the ladies. And my daughter, Alexis, going to do the horsemanship for us. Hopefully she remembers how to do this. She's been jumping for a while, so we'll see how that goes. So before we get started, an important thing, when you come in, we have great people assisting you at the gate. So if you pay attention, there's usually two people that are calling numbers out, trying to assist you to get to the cone. We ask that you be ready and be at the start cone when it comes your time to start your pattern. The first other thing is when the start cone here and all these patterns will be 30 feet off the wall, or basically at the end of the start gate. Okay. The midline on this end of the arena is the second horse head to the right. So when we talk about midline in our patterns here tonight, that's the midline. And our center line is going to be the red and white stripe that we see over here to our right, and it's over here on our left. Okay? So we're going to start with the small fry pattern. And we start with our cone on our right. Let me find a spot that's not going to echo. There we go. I'll stand still. Okay, so we'll start, and the pattern asks for a forward walk for approximately 3 horse lengths. I know the first question is going to be how many steps do we want to take to make 3 horse lengths? So that's going to be about 12 steps. So I'm going to suggest probably at 10 or 11 steps, you start thinking about asking your horse to jog off. Okay? Is that approximately? Number 2, we're going to have a forward jog. So again, if you have a horse that jogs really, really slow for the pleasure, we're not going to use that gait. We're going to step it up just a little bit. So we have a forward jog, and we're going to jog 2 and through the corner and up the line past the midline. So as we go up and make that turn, to the left, we're going to jog up and cross that midline. And as we approach the center line, which is the red and white tape, we're going to extend our trot and trot a half circle up around the top of the arena until we come to the far right center line. And we're going to break to a walk. And again, we're going to walk 3 horse lengths, which will be how many steps? Correct. Another 12 steps. We'll stop and back approximately 1 horse length, which I would show a good 4 or 5 steps there. Then we will jog out. Your pattern is complete upon passing your start cone. So as you jog out, you'll jog right straight out and your pattern will be complete. So I'll have Alexa come down here. Again, she will be instructed by our superior gait help, and they will have her sitting here waiting at the cone. And when she sees the flag, she walks forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. She's asking to jog off. Nice forward jog here. Making her turn. She's going to come up and cross that center line. Make sure she jogs all the way across it. She gets to the center line. She's building her extending trot, her jog, into her half circle. She approaches that center line. She's going to break to a walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And she's going to hold. And she's going to back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then jog out. She's still showing. When she passes the cone, her pattern is complete. Okay, are there any questions? Anybody that needs to see that pattern again? Okay, if not, we'll move on to the next one. Okay, the next one will be our walk trot youth and walk trot amateur. Again, it's very similar. We'll start with the cone on our right. We'll walk 3 horse lengths, which will be 12 steps. Then jog through the corner, past the midline. Then we will extend our jog a half circle. When we get to the midline this time, we're going to stop. Do a 360 to the right. Back a horse length, then jog out. Once again, our pattern is complete once we pass the marker. Any questions before we start? Yes, ma'am. Pardon? Is this? Oh, I'm not sure where the class is. Is this? Is the walk trot youth? Are you asking about the youth or the amateur? Youth. Is the youth in the sanctuary? Do we know? Yes, that's yes. There should be in the center there. You have the more. You'll just have to find your center line down there. I can't actually tell you where that center line is.
I think it's that.
It is marked. Yes, it is marked down there, similar to this. Okay. All right, so we're going to start. We'll look for our flag from our judges. Walk forward, our 12 steps. And it's going to jog through our turn. Get past our midline. She approaches the center line, extending her trot. Her jog, sorry, I keep saying trot. Nice half circle here. Coming down to center on our line, she's going to stop. Execute a 360-degree turn to the right. And then she's going to back a horse length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then she's going to jog out. Again, still being judged till she passes the marker. Okay, anybody need to see that one again? Very similar to our first one. We just add the turn. Okay. Okay, our next pattern. Again, we'll start with a cone on our right, and we're going to walk forward 2 horse lengths this time, so that'll be approximately 8 steps. It's the rookie youth and rookie amateur. Sorry about that. So we'll walk forward approximately 2 horse lengths, then a forward jog again, to and through the corner. And as soon as we get through the corner, we're going to lope right lead, diagonal line, and a circle. Now at center before midline. So as we close that circle, but before we get to the middle, we're going to break to a jog. And we're going to make a U-turn. And as soon as we make that U-turn and get straight, we will extend the jog, stop. Then we'll do a 3/4 or a 270 turn to the left. Back approximately 1 horse length. Then again, jog out. Pattern complete once passing the start cone. Does anybody have any questions before we start it? You know where you're going? Okay. Okay, so we'll walk 2 horse lengths this time. Into a forward jog. Through the turn, into a right lead. And she'll continue this up and through the half circle, or full circle. Now she's going to bring this down and find the center line. And before she gets to midline, she'll break to her jog. And she's going to bring this over to almost the start cone. She turned a little early there. There we go. And then make her turn. We don't want to go outside the marker. We're going to bring that over. Once she gets straight, we'll do the extended trot, straight over. About to where she's just closed her circle. Stop and do her 3/4 turn. And she will back. A horse length. Then jogging out. Okay, do you guys want to see that one again, just to see how that line should look across the middle? Okay. Yes.
I have it drawn as the first corner being even with an edge.
Keep going across a little. I was going to have her come across a little bit more too. Yes. Yeah. She did it a little bit more like the walk trot. Yes. So take your jog line across a little further before you turn and load your diagonal line. Yeah. So do walking our 2 horse lengths here into our jog. Then we're going to jog straight forward. I'll tell you when to turn. Keep going. Keep going. So she could have jogged up a little bit further there and then made her turn and then loped off on her right lead. Coming across, finding her marker here and coming up, loping this circle. And again, noting where this line is, where she's coming around in this circle down, because that's where she's going to stop and do her turn. And line here too, coming around. Before she gets to the midline, she's going to jog. And she's coming straight across, almost to her marker. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Now she'll do her turn. And she gets straight. Now she will extend her jog. Back over to where she started to close her circle. Stop. Execute her turn. Back a horse length. And then jog out. So that first jog line to turn should be about where she's jogging out. So if you want to see that again, we can. We'll do that again, okay?
You want it like way past middle?
No, just, yes. Almost to where you're jogging out. Sorry about that.
You said middle, I thought you said.
No, just the line you're jogging out. There you go. So we'll begin at the walk. Walking our 8 steps. Into our forward jog. And just continue straight, continue straight, continue straight, continue straight. Now turn. There we go. Now she can lope off on her right lead on that diagonal line, finding the middle. Good. Good. Now she's into her circle. And again, remembering this line coming down here, because that's where she's going to stop and turn. As we close the circle before the midline, break to the jog. That was good there. We're going to bring this jog out to just before the start cone. Making our turn. Getting straight and extending. Over, going just past where we started our circle. Stopping. 270 to the left. Getting straight there, backing up, a horse length, 4 or 5 steps, and then jogging out. There we go. And again, being judged until you get past the marker. That was a little better interpretation of where we should be. Okay, so any questions on that one? Okay. So the next pattern will be the level 1 youth 13 and under. Again, we will walk 2 horse lengths. Then we will start with our left lead and go forward. And this will be the same drawing basically as what we did in the jog the next one. So we'll lope down to where we made that turn. Make a left turn there, loping up to our center line and midline where we will change leads. And that lead change can be flying or simple. Then we'll lope a right lead circle. And at center again before midline, we'll do a forward jog. Again, bringing it out to just inside the start marker. Then extended jog across the arena. Then outside where we did our circle. Stopping, do a 270 or 3/4 turn left. Backing 1 horse length again. Jogging out. Pattern is complete once we pass the cone. Any questions?
What pattern is that?
The level 1U, 13 and under. Okay. So she's going to begin her walk here. 8 steps. And she's going to lope left lead, straight ahead. Wait till I tell you to turn, and turn. She's going to find her diagonal line. And she's going to come to the center line. Change her lead. Continuing on that line, and then start her circle. And again, she's going to come down to her center line, and before she gets to the midline or the middle of the arena, she's going to break to her jog here. Coming out to just inside the start marker. Making her left turn. Into her extended jog. She'll stop. Again, 270 to the left, get square. Back a horse length. 4 or 5 steps. And jog out. Again, pattern is complete after you pass the cone. Okay, any questions on that one?
Can she do it again?
Yes. This time she's going to do it with a simple lead change just so you can see. Okay, so she'll break just right before.
You're like having trouble.
Yeah. She'll break right before that center line before she asks for her lead change. So we'll run through it one more time. Walking her 8 steps. Starting on the left lead. Making her left turn, finding her diagonal line. As she approaches that center line, she's going to make her simple change to her right lead. Starting into her circle. And again, bringing this circle down to the center line, getting straight, breaking before the midline. Jogging out to just inside the start cone. Taking a nice U-turn here with forward motion. Extending our jog. Stopping. Turning to the left. And we want to try to get square there before we finish. When we finish that turn, so we have a nice straight back. Backing 4 or 5 steps and then jogging out. Okay, everybody clear on that pattern? Any questions? Okay. Okay, the next one will be our level 1 youth 14 to 18, level 1 amateur, and our level 1 select. This one is very similar. We have just some speed changes in our turn. Again, we'll start with a forward walk, 2 horse lengths, 8 steps, loping left lead around the corner there. Then we'll change leads. And then after that lead change, we're going to increase our speed for 3/4 of the circle. Now, some questions early on before I came out was how long before I start that to increase that speed. So once you change your leads there in the center, just still show that same speed, 2 to 3 strides, then start to build. And then 3/4 of the way around, as you start to close that circle, when you find that center line, again, show that slowing down, except in this pattern, you will lope all the way to the midline. So you'll have an increase of speed 3/4 of the circle. So as she starts to close her circle, she's going to slow down, but she's going to keep loping all the way to the midline this time. So she will be traveling across the center line to the midline before she breaks to her jog. So that's a difference too in the last one. Then we will continue with the jog, make the U-turn to the left, extend trot back across the arena, stop. This time we'll do 1 3/4 turn to the left or 630-degree turn, back 1 horse length, again 4 or 5 steps, then jog out, and again, pattern is complete once you pass the marker. Okay, she's going to do it twice. We're going to do a simple change the first time, and then we're going to do a flying lead change the second time. Okay? Right, so walking forward, 2 horse lengths, 8 steps. Loping off on our left lead. I think she's got it now where I want her to turn. There we go. And she'll do her simple lead change here. Loping off. Now she'll show an increase of speed. Now she's going to continue with this, and she's going to start to close. Now she'll slow all the way to the middle, to the midline, and then she'll jog. So we'll have a little less of a jog line here. This turn's going to come up a little quicker. Then extending across the middle. Stopping. Bigger turn this time. Of 1 3/4. Backing a horse length, 4 or 5 steps. And jogging out. Very good. And this time she'll do it with the lead change. She says she's out of shape. Okay, so she'll wait. She'll wait for the flag, walk the 8 steps. And again, the pace that she has here, the walk is a nice forward walk. Nice departure into that left lead. Nice turn. She's looking for her center of the arena here. She's keeping a nice pace. She's going to change leads and still try to keep this pace. Very nice. Now she's going to lengthen her stride. Good, and this is still a nice pace. You don't have to gallop this. She shows a nice lengthening the stride. We're going to close this on the center, slow down, all the way to the center. Tried to quit her there a little bit. Now jog. Up to the mark. Making that turn. Then extending. Stop. 1 3/4 turn to the left. Back to horse length, 4 or 5 steps. Jogging out. Okay, any questions? Okay, all right. Thank you all for coming out. Again, if anybody needs any help, just reach out and ask. Okay, well, you have a question?
Yes.
Yes.
When she has the extended loop, is she doing a bigger circle?
She did make her circle a little bit bigger in the extension.
That's okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, you can draw the pattern the way it fits your horse. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.